Hey folks, MasakoX here. And if you're unfamiliar about this story, the story about Shenron being Earth's guardian, you can check out the story of when Shenron became a human and then evolved to be a guardian. Both links are available in the pinned comment below, as well as something you can get up top. Now you can catch up. Let's continue with the story of Shenron if he were Earth's guardian instead of Kami. In the wake of the triumph over the draconic transformation of Cell, Shenron had walked toward the Z-Fighters. But before they could start their journey, there was but one more thing to do. He saw Krillin and Android 16 gathered next to an unconscious young girl. He touched her forehead, which quickly woke her up and caused her to recoil in fear.
"It's all right," 16 said. "Cell is no more."
What about my brother?" she asked in confusion over her current situation.
"Do not worry, child. We will restore him, as well as everyone who had fallen victim to this creature."
"Wait, who are you?" She tilted her head in confusion.
"Oh, he's our new guardian. Also a dragon. He's a good friend," Krillin explained, with Shenron just smiling.
"What? Really?"
"Excuse me for now. We have other pressing matters to attend to. I presume you can take care of your friend, 16. The Guardian looked at the fully synthetic android for a confirmation. "Confirmed," the machine nodded. "Thank you. All right, Bulma is on the way with the radar. I shall meet you on the way." "Wait, on the way where?" Yamcha seemed puzzled. "On the way to the new set of the Dragonballs that have just been created." "Wait, what? Aren't they dormant or something?" The bandit seemed even more confused. "That is the correct assertion, my friend, but that doesn't mean that we are done with them." And indeed, Bulma's plane had landed. Before vanishing, Shenron looked to Porunga. "Are you coming, or—" "You know what? I think I will hitch a ride with the Earthlings, no offense. I need to rest from all of that Guardian atmosphere. Besides, I need Goku to take me back home." "Of course," the Guardian nodded, and promptly vanished. He wasn't back at the lookout, though. No, he had gone somewhere else. He was knocking on the door of a humble house on Mount Paozu. Someone had literally opened them wide. "Are they safe? What's happened? The TV broadcast went dark!" Chi-Chi was shaking out of stress. Her father was at her side trying to calm her down. "They are safe. Cell is contained and defeated. Gohan did well, as did you." A wave of relief went over her body, with the Ox King having to catch her to protect her from collapsing to the ground. "My little baby, safe." "Yes, there won't be more stress. In your state, you should avoid situations like that." Chi-Chi then blinked twice. Wait, what?" Chi-Chi seemed confused at first. Shenron then smiled patiently. "It will become apparent to you in a few days, and I can promise that I am extending my protection on this one as well." She gave him a hard, long look, as if she were piecing it together. "I'm not sure if I can trust you about it. You've got a sketchy track record." "I know, but I would not have put anyone in this position if I wasn't sure that they could pull through. You see, Gohan's lineage is not only special because of Goku, but because of you also, and his own growth as a person. This strength is vital to who he is, and he needs a healthy relationship with that part of himself. He cannot feel shame. Do you understand?" "I only want to protect him, and for you not to lie to me," she said seriously. "And I apologize for all of that. But weren't it for your son, we could have all been lost. Perhaps without your words, this wouldn't have happened, or it would have caused him even more strain." I just don't know. I want our lives to be normal, Shenron, without worrying about the next world-ending event. Who knows what will come tomorrow, or the next day, or the next day? Can you assure me that something like this will never happen again? Don't answer, because I already know. I just refuse to put my child in harm's way again." "And that is the greatest thing any mother could wish for their child. I do agree that my duties as a guardian have stood in the way of our friendship. So, I am not asking for forgiveness, because frankly, I don't think I deserve it. The only thing I may ask of you is to be proud of your son, of who he is and who he is becoming. Let him know that whatever he decides to do, you are with him." "Even when he decides to follow up on this dangerous madness?" Shenron nodded slowly. "Everything, especially then. Besides, I do think your father can tell you a thing or two of the child throwing everything out to become a martial artist. He looked to the Ox King, who then blushed.
But I did it to get my family, not to chase challenges my entire life, as Goku does. That's hardly the same thing.
And Gohan is not like Goku either. He did it because we needed him, and hopefully we won't need him again. But if he wants to hone his fighting skills, you have to be right behind him. He is a talented child. He can be both smart and strong. Just, he needs a healthy proportion of both. She closed her eyes.
Fine. Maybe I should have more faith that my son is not like other kids. He can keep himself safe more than I give him credit for. It's going to be hard.
I understand. Things like this never are easy. I just wanted to come here and say that they will be home soon. Both of them. There was a moment of silence, after which Chi-Chi exclaimed only,
"Thank you."
"That's the least I can do."
Indeed.
Chi-Chi bowed her head and closed the door. Shenron looked at Mr. Popo, waiting on him by the well. "How did she handle the news?" he asked politely. "Better than I thought. Let's go." They should have already located the first Dragon Ball. And indeed, the group were already not only holding onto a regular orange Dragon Ball, but also a green equivalent with a red star inside. Now, seeing both of them up close, it became apparent that the ones capable of summoning whatever cell had become was slightly smaller.
Well, it turns out they pop up on the radar. Do we have 14 Dragon Balls right now, then? I found the 6-star on the way, but this green one is the 3-star.
Bomb was pondering about this when Baby Trunks was curiously watching the colorful orbs. That is correct. Shenron and Mr. Popo appeared in the middle of the group, scaring Krillin with the Guardian's sudden arrival.
But would using the green ones not summon Cell and make him free?
Future Trunks seemed unconvinced. Well, that is a good question. We are not sure what will happen. This is a new situation. For now, he slumbers. His current state may make him even forget his previous self. Only time will tell.
So you guys will be able to use the second set then, without any consequence?
The time traveler seemed positively confused. Yes, this one will be guarded by you, Chaozu. Shenron took the orb from Bulma and handed it over to the smallest of the fighters.
Wait, does that make you a guardian of sorts, Chaozu?
Goku finally realized the consequences.
Well, kinda. Shenron infused me with some bits of his own power, and then told me what to do.
He smiled. Well, originally, it was a Namekian ability, but I was able to pass some of that to Chaozu. Cell is a weird case. He is pretty powerful on his own, but the power of his wishes is connected to Chaozu's overall power, Shenron explained. But, for now, we will do more good by not summoning it.
Hey, I was saying, wait, these trinkets, they can actually grant wishes? And y'all been using them for quite a while, right?
Mr. Satan scratched his head. In non-selfish ways, yeah, mostly. Yamcha tried to cover for his friends.
So, you are some damn heroes. Well, Jimmy should interview you. I can help you all make careers. I know a thing or two when it comes to careers. Don't even think about that.
Vegeta scoffed.
Oh, why not? I could be your manager. We could tell the world about all the awesome things the boy did.
Mr. Satan pointed to Gohan.
Well, the offer is very nice. We like to be private. We are happy that Earth is safe, and what have you.
Vegeta was arrogant, but Goku patted the champion on the shoulder.
I mean, Mr. Satan, if you can, maybe you can tell the people that you were the one to beat Cell.
Gohan then smiled as well in his father's agreement.
Hey, hang on, Goku. Are you willing to allow this guy to take credit for you?
Krillin couldn't believe his ears.
Well, I don't mind, if he uses it to do some good in the world, the boy added.
You would do that to poor old me? Boy, you truly are something.
It was hard not to see a little bit of a fanboy coming out of Mr. Satan. Before that, Mark, we'll have a job for you to do as well.
A job?
The man then hid behind the young half Saiyan.
The Dragon God speaking to me again. I don't want to piss him off, boy. Tell me what to say.
Actually, to most of you, you have a job. You see, I don't think this will be the final danger that will come to Earth. Far from it, actually. Originally, I just wished to divide Cell's Dragon Balls between my students. Each one of you would guard one, but I have a rather good idea of what to do with the last one. If Mark would take the 6th, but I do think this is about time that Earth would learn how to defend itself and not just rely on the strength of the most powerful warriors. Shenron then eyed the Saiyans and stopped his sights on Porunga.
You want to start the Namekian warrior culture over here, huh?
His hulking cousin smirked a little bit. Guilty as charged. If you all agree, I would like to place you as the heads of the Order of the Dragon Dojo. He looked at his human student. You will still train with me, but since I shouldn't interact too much with the people of this planet, you could be my liaisons in teaching Earthlings about how to defend themselves.
Wow, that sounds like a big honor.
Ten Shinhan looked to his friends.
It might be a bit risky. We need to think well on who to accept. Bad people may want to use these powers for bad things.
Krillin crossed his arms. I wouldn't have trusted anyone else for the job. And for you, Mark, you would help promote these schools with your influence, which I think would only grow if you indeed take credit for Cell's defeat. Would you be all right with this? There was a moment of silence. Mr. Satan seemed both scared but also incredibly honored that someone had thought about him that way. It was a strange moment, with Jimmy Firecracker and his cameraman waiting in excitement for his decision.
I'll do it. My daughter will be proud of her old man. I'll help keep the world a safer place. Sure, why not?
Good, Shenron nodded. I am glad that we understand one another.
Well, that means even more strong people. Great idea, Shenron.
Goku seemed excited, whilst Vegeta just rolled his eyes. As for you, Prince, are you planning to stay? If you won't be trying anything fishy, this planet could be your new home. The Guardian smiled at the Saiyan.
I have nowhere else to go. I guess I will.
He paused and looked at both versions of his son.
I'll tag along for a while, then we shall see.
Good. I shall keep you to your promise. Shenron now turned his head to certain loudmouthed journalists. Now, remember, Mr. Firecracker, you are not to mention me to anyone. Understood?
Of course. It was enough of an honor to simply be in your presence, oh great guardian. I'll help Mr. Satan over here to invent a believable story so your friends can happily continue to live in their undisturbed privacy. Yes.
The man shrunk 2 sizes when Shenron politely towered over him.
What about the last ball, though?
Yamcha was trying to probe the topic further.
Who's gonna guard it? Is it gonna be you, Shenron?
No. Let's find the other ones first before we make any more decisions.
The view was quite beautiful.
After all, Android 16's appreciation for nature had helped them to find truly beautiful sights. But 18's mind was somewhat different. She did hope that the Dragon Guardian wasn't lying to them. Your brother has been restored. He will be looking for you two, said the voice next to her. 18 jumped nervously. He was either teleporting or moving around like a cat.
Gosh, you scared me there, old man. Is he really back?
Indeed. But I know that you two don't have a place to stay. I do think that Goku and his friends will find something for you if you go to them.
After all the trouble we caused, would they?
She looked at him suspiciously.
Isn't this a trap?
Not at all, my child. Also, he reached out to a satchel and he handed over a green crystal-like orb with 6 red stars inside. I want you to have this.
Wait, is that some kind of gem?
She looked curiously at the mesmerizing orb. There are 7 of these. They will prevent Cell from coming back if kept separate.
Coming back? Can this monster?
Only if 7 are gathered and used again. If you want to know more, I can direct you toward a very good teacher. He can also help you train. His name is Krillin.
Wait, isn't that...
Yes, but only if you want. I do not wish to force you into anything. All 3 of you now have something that Jiro never gave you. A choice. The girl looked at 16 and said nothing.
And if I drop this blasted thing and walk away?
She asked, but the Guardian was already gone. Android 18 then realized that she really hated it when people did that. After saying farewell to Future Trunks, who was returning to his timeline, it was time to say goodbye to Porunga, as Goku was about to take him back to Namek. Thank you, cousin, for all of your help. Shenron offered him a hand, but instead was caught up in a bear hug.
You too, but be careful,
he said jovially, but then he whispered something in a much more serious tone. I do hope that what you did here won't cause too much attention upstairs. Shenron smiled at Porunga. Well, if it does, I will be the one to deal with it. Until we see each other again, my kin. As he watched his family member being taken away by Goku, Shenron then returned to the lookout. Mr. Popo was already there, patiently tending toward his plants. The Guardian then smiled and closed his eyes. He felt Earth, his Earth. All the people returned to their families, and peace was returning to their hearts. Everything was in the right place for now, as we end Act 2 of this story of Shenron being Earth's guardian.